Hey, Dragonlings, it says we're live. I'm going to double check everything, make sure we're working the way we want to. Yep. Okay, cool. Awesome. Hello there. Welcome. If you're new, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name SD Hegyes, and we're going to be doing some productivity sprints. The way it usually works is we do 4 25-minute sprints. I have this lovely timer on the screen, the Pomodoro Kitty timer, which will do our 25-minute sprints with 5-minute breaks in between automatically the moment I start it. And the other thing I like to do is I like to put writing prompts on the screen. You don't have to do the writing prompts. They're just there if you want to write but don't know what you want to write about, and maybe they'll give you some inspiration. So yeah, that is me and what I'm doing, or how this works usually. Let's say hello to the comments. Athena's here. Hello. Taking notes, listening, and watching the second season of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Against My Will. I love the animes with such super long names. Like, not gonna lie. That being said, I just finished reading the webtoon yesterday. I think it's called I'll See You in My 19th Life. Now I gotta remember the name of it. Sorry, hold on. Not me totally looking through webtoons to figure out what the actual name of it is. See You in My 19th Life. And I legit started reading it because Netflix suggested the show to me, and it was like, we think you'll like this based on what you've watched in the past. And I was like, probably. Is it based off a book? And they were like, yes, it is. And I was like, let me read that first. So I hunted it down and read the whole thing on webtoon. And now I'm going to watch the show. So, and I was telling my sisters about it, and she was like, yeah, I didn't know it was a webtoon. I already watched the show. I was like, good for you. Was it good? She was like, it's super cute. I was like, cool. Hi, Misty Kate. Just looking through story notes. Awesome. I do not know what I'm working on today yet. I have my spinning wheel of chaotic doom pulled up on my phone, and I'm going to spin it. I do know that one of the things on my wheel is going to get done tonight because I would like my desk clean before the start of the 7-day book challenge, which starts tomorrow morning. And yeah, I'm going to do that at some point tonight during this stream. So if you see my camera turn off, it's probably because of that. Stupidly long titles are crazy. Just cool because now I know what the whole story is about. Ooh, Misty Kate, you have a wheel app now too? Yes. And Athena also has to clean their desk. Yeah. Yeah, my desk has just had a bunch of stuff thrown on it, and I want to reorganize it because, hold on, I already buried it. I got this the other day. It's a tripod to hold the camera, but it's one of those movable ones. So I got to figure out how I'm going to attach it to the desk and where I'm attaching to the desk. But that means reorganizing the desk and cleaning it off. So I think I might do that at least on the first sprint. But we're going to see, because I'm going to spin the wheel and see what it has me working on anyways. So as long as I get my desk done sometime tonight before I go to bed, I don't care if it's during the stream or not. So we'll see what the wheel says. And if it says something that I just don't feel like doing, I'll be like, screw it, I'm going to clean my desk instead. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, since we have about a minute before we start the first sprint. What does it say? Witches of Glenwood. Okay, yeah, that's another series that was really not wanting to start on yet. So first sprint, at least I'm going to clean my desk. So, oh, and my dad replied to my messages from this morning. Ha ha ha. I like that you smell. Did I smell it? Maybe. I have no idea. I might have. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, we're going to start this first sprint. Let me put up the first prompt. Again, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. It's just there to inspire you if you want to write but don't know what you want to write about. The other thing I got to do at some point is I got to take down all these Kanban board stickies because I'm redoing them over the course of the next week. So, Yeah. All right, here we go. First prompt is up. Timer is up. We are 5 after the hour, so we're going to start this first sprint starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time. Let me know how you did, what you did in the comments. I managed to at least get my desk cleaned up. I am going to have to reorganize it. I actually shifted my computer already, so I'm looking at my computer screen now instead of the camera. But I'm going to have to reorganize it because the way I was going to do it is not going to work. But I at least have it cleaned up to the point where I can start working with it. So I will probably finish that task off stream because I kept bumping the computer and it was like, you have unplugged your camera. I'm like, my camera isn't even on. Why do you keep telling me that? So that was fun. All right, what did everyone else do? Had to redo those things too. I hate new quarters. So as you can see, I have a lot that I haven't done this quarter. I think I'll be changing up how I do my Kanban board because it's not working. Part of it's because of the fact that I project hop, whereas this was all like specific project designation. And they are all tasks that I need to do for those specific projects. But because I project hop so much, even when I try, more so when I try to focus on one project than if I'm like not trying to focus on one project, when I actually allow myself to just, project hop, I actually get more work done on the projects that are supposed to get done. So I need to quit trying to force myself to work on certain projects throughout the quarter because it never bodes well for me. Margaret's here, so someone will make her post AWC press. Margaret, I need you to post some stuff for AWC. I'm just saying. It's coming up. Hello, Mama Ward. Stopping by to drop a like and wish everyone a happy productivity. Next sprint is to do the PWM thing. Since it didn't load last week and I deleted it before I knew it didn't load and I got water. PWM. Plan with me. Okay, plan with me. Sorry, my brain was not braining. I was just like, what does that mean again? Hey, JC. Hello. Yeah, I've been trying to force myself to work on specific projects because I'm like, okay, I want to get these projects published by such and such date, which is still true. However, I am noticing with allowing myself to project hop and just like work on stuff at random, when I finally do work on what actually has deadlines, I get more done than trying to force myself, because I've been calling myself a binge writer lately because I tend to go like days, weeks, months without doing anything, and then I'll do like a bunch of stuff in 1 to 2 days, and then I'm burnt out for like a couple weeks at a time. But since I started allowing myself to project hop again and just go with it, I'm getting more done every day, and I'm actually working on stuff every day. It may not be like the same, it might not always be writing, but I'm always thinking about at least one project because at the beginning of the day I spin the wheel and I work on that a little bit, and then it's been really helping. I have a video coming out about it on Wednesday because I do have a lot more thoughts about that, but it is helping so much, and I'm getting through the burnout much easier than I was. I'm getting things done on every project, plus the stuff that actually needs to get done is actually getting done versus me just staring at blank screens. So it's like it's really good. It's going good. Wow. I don't know what that was about. OCD goal brain wants everything finished, right? Like I'm the same way. Part of the reason I started setting up the Notion project was because I was like, okay, where am I at on every project? Like I don't know where I'm at on every project. And now that I've got all of my projects in there, I can see straight up, okay, this is where I'm at with this project. This is where I'm at with this project. I'm here with this project. And a lot of them are in that needs professional editing or self-editing before the publication point. And I'm like, we have lots of stuff that's ready to get completed. It's time to get it done. So thanks, JC. All right, with 20-ish seconds left, we're going to get started on the next sprint soon. Again, if you want to use the prompt, you can. It's just there if you want to write but don't know what you want to write about. You don't have to use it. And we're going to start this next sprint. I'm a little fast. I'm sorry. I'm excited to get some work done. I don't know what I'm going to do on this next sprint. I'm going to do something. In 3, 2, let's go. All right, that is time, everyone. Let me know how you did, what you did in the comments. I started working on Witches of Glenwood, which is what my spinning wheel of chaos told me to do. However, I was working on like updating the project files on my Notion so that it had like I don't have finalized covers for I have covers for a lot of stories because I tend to like pre-made sales and I buy a lot of pre-mades that fit the storylines whenever they're on sale because I have a bunch of cover artists that do sales every once in a while and they sell them for like $50 a pop and I'm like, give it to me now. So no, I have a bunch of unfinalized covers that I literally have. I was like, hey, I want this cover. I don't have the story completed yet. Just send it to me as is, and I will tell you when I need to update it with the title information, which I don't do until closer to publication. So I've got like 30 plus covers, and I'm updating my Notion project with the covers, basically, is what it comes down to. The unfinalized covers. I don't know why I did quotes for that. Okay, there was lots of comments. Hold on. Whoo, baby. The cat has spoken. The cat has indeed spoken. This is the voice of my imposter syndrome. Go away, imp. I like that you call your imposter syndrome imp. Mostly because one of the projects I've been working on for the past couple of days off and on is about warlocks, and there's a hierarchy system to the demons, and one of the two main characters, the two main characters are brothers, and one of them has an imp for his demon. So I just like that his name is you name your imposter syndrome imp. The imp's name is Oz, by the way. Well, thank you, Misty Kate. I'm glad I could entertain you with some prompts. Hi, Stephanie. Hello, hello. Margaret got AWC link sent, made typo change. Taking myself off to frolic with word fairies, whether reading or writing, who knows? Margaret, you have a magical evening. I doubt you're still here, but if you are, you have a magical evening. I love that you signed off that way. That was perfect. JC was trying to catch Margaret before she left. Spotify suggested the band Kitty. And I'm back in. Okay, I don't think I've heard Kitty. I'm going to have to go listen to Kitty now. Plan with me voiceover is done. Now I'm putting all the stuff together and it'll be. There you go. I think it's getting stuff done. Stephanie finished editing and uploading a weekend vlog. Nice. I have to finish editing the video that I filmed for Wednesday. I filmed it already. I need to edit and upload it for Wednesday. And it'll be live on Wednesday. I like that I'm still doing my videos on Wednesdays instead of like Mondays because I don't always get a chance to film until Monday, and then I don't always get a chance to edit until Tuesday. So it's better that I'm doing it this way, especially now that we're coming upon summer and all the activities happen in summertime. So yay, it's fun stuff. I need to make a list of everything I need to do that's like that actually is time sensitive. Like I need to get that done, whether it's no matter what the spinning wheel of chaotic doom says, because there are some things that I still need to. Brackish or Charlotte? Okay, I'll have to listen to that. Screaming girl band. I do like me some screaming music every once in a while. I think I've been shocking my kids with the playlist lately because I tend to like hear snippets of songs and I'm like, oh, I want that. It has a good beat. I don't care what the song's about. And I'll listen to like 5 seconds and know whether or not I'm gonna actually like the whole song. So my playlist lately has been going from like an upbeat, poppy kind of country song to screaming metal. And they're just like whiplashed. And they're just like, what the fuck? It's been hilarious. I've even found some good good modern, I'm guessing it would be considered alternative or emo music. Think like modern Good Charlotte and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm here for this. But yeah, I'm definitely the kind of person that if I hear a snippet of a song and I'm like, ooh, JC has been adding all kinds of good music to her vlogs, and I've been like, let me get that just to add to my playlist. I have a whole playlist of why from one band to another. All right, let's get ready for our third sprint because it's coming up soon. We're going to start. I have the prompt up. I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time. Let me know how you did, what you did in the comments. I managed to get more work done. That's pretty much all I did. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, JC. I really did not put a lot of effort into the songs I pick. Uh-oh. I'm sorry that it scared you. Was not meaning to scare you. Worked on an outline for a pen name project. Hey, there we go. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever anyone mentions a pen name project, I'm like, "Ooh, what's the pen name?" So I can go like seek them out. I get why people want to keep them secret. I understand completely, but the nosy part of me is like, I want to know. Oh my goodness. I can't. I've been loving hearing about your journey with the pen name project and your process of how you want to like publish them and stuff. And I'm like, that was such a brilliant idea, and that's what I should have done with my regular pen name. Let's see, did you? I'm not telling you to tell. I was just like that's the inner portion of me that's nosy, just wants to know, knowing they'll never know. I get that too. I still have a few people whose pen name I'm trying to figure out. There are a couple author tubers that I watch that mention pen names, and I'm just like, can I find out? Have I read their work unknowingly? Like, I want to know. It's fun working on something that no one will ever know is me. Nice. Natalia Lee is one of them, actually. Yeah, because I'm nosy enough that I'm like, I want to know if I've read so and so's work. Because like with me, the reason I don't hide my pen names is because my writing style is so similar across all of the pen names, no matter what I'm writing, that I'm just like, they're gonna know. So there's no point in me hiding it. Plus, I don't have the capacity to run like there are people out there with multiple pen names and they run different social medias for multiple pen names. And I'm like, nah, I don't have the time or the energy for that. No, thank you. So like I will publish under my main name, which is my fantasy, and I will tell you when I'm doing, hey, I got a romance coming out. It's contemporary romance, regular romance. It's under a different name so that if you're not interested in romance, you don't have to worry about it. You won't see anything about it. But just know that I'm not hiding that's me. Oh goodness. Videos uploaded for tomorrow. Ooh. I have not started watching season 3 of Bridgerton. I was waiting until part 2 came out because I binged all of season 1. I binged all of season 2. I know myself well enough. I'm going to binge all of season 3. In fact, actually, I'm using season 3. There's 8 episodes. The 7-day book challenge starts tomorrow, and I'm using that as my reward. If I complete my writing for the day with the 7-day book challenge, I get to watch an episode of Bridgerton. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I want to support people. That's what yeah, like I get why people don't want to reveal their pen names. I completely understand it. I really do. I have thoughts on what you just said, JC. The people who have secret pen names, their pen names do better. I see this mostly with okay, this is going to be controversial and I don't have enough time to talk about it before the next sprint starts. So I'm going to have to come back to circle back around to that because I do have thoughts on that. It's just my own personal opinion versus like I have no evidence to support it whatsoever. Like none. But I will tell you about my conspiracy theory. Oh, you're right. I could pause the timer. I could totally do that. So, my conspiracy theory is that I see a lot of people who do the secret pen names and they don't reveal their pen names also do if they are an author tuber. Not talking about with people who are not on AuthorTube. But if you're on AuthorTube and you do a lot of advice videos, give me a second, I'm going to pause the timer now. Okay, there we go. I paused it at the 3 so I could just start off. So my conspiracy theory is that if you're an author tuber and you do a lot of advice videos and then you write books, People are going to judge your writing by the kind of advice you give. And I am very much a victim of this. There are 3 people whose books I refuse to read, and I actually refuse to watch any of their videos because I feel like all of their advice was do not do such and such, and everything they said do not do was in their books. And it wasn't a do not do like I did. It was a do not do this ever kind of video. And I hate that. I hate it so much. And then to see them do it in their own works was just off-putting. And I hate it so much that I now refuse to read their books. I refuse to watch their videos. I don't care what kind of advice they give. It could be good advice. I refuse to take it now. And I refuse to read their books based on that. And I feel like those kind of people who are publicly saying advice videos and then putting out books that turn people off like me, if they put projects under a pen name, I am never going to know that they are associated with such and such person in such and such books. So I'm going to read that without that bias. Does that make sense? Exactly, Athena. That's exactly why. Like, I will read AuthorTuber's books, and there's quite a few that I have thoroughly enjoyed, but it never fails. Those who give a lot of advice, especially that do not ever do this kind of advice, those are the ones that I read, and I'm like, fuck you, bitch. I'm like, everything you told me not to do in your advice videos is in this damn book, and I hate you for it. And they always do extremely well. Exactly. And I'm like, can you not follow your own advice? Like, I'm sorry. What's going on here? And there are a couple of author tubers like that. I'm just like, no thanks. No thanks. I will skip. I will move on with my life. Oh. And it's nothing against them personally. It's just that I just can't stand those kind of videos where they give out the advice and then all of that advice ends up in their books. It's a complete turnoff. It really is. So if they do put out something under a pen name, and again, they don't tell anyone what the pen name is, they can have all of those same mistakes that they said do not ever do. But because I don't know it's them, I'm going to read their work and not give 2 shits. Because 90% of the time, the books that I like the most are all the ones that have all the stuff that people say do not do. Always wait, hold on. Always take the do not ever advice with a. I do too, especially nowadays. I think when I first started watching AuthorTube and my feed was drowning in advice videos, like especially the 5 tips or the 5 do's and don'ts. Those were the special ones that I remember popping up a lot when I first started on AuthorTube. The don't do this video. Yeah. They're all feeling the same. But it's much easier for me now to take things like, yeah, I'm going to skip your advice on that one. Whereas back then I was just like, why are you giving me advice? Because you don't sound like you know what you're doing. And especially like if it was someone who was giving this kind of advice and had no experience in either publishing, whether it was in the publishing field as far as like traditional publishing or even in the indie publishing, because they had no books out. This was all writing advice that they were giving without having any books out to begin with. I think that was what annoyed me the most, was all these people giving advice videos and they didn't even have any books out. And again, they might have, because if they'd had anything under another pen name that I knew nothing about, guess what? I'm not gonna know. And it's one of the main reasons I don't do advice video myself. I'll be like, hey, this is what I do. It may or may not work for you, but I don't do the don't do this, do this kind of videos for that exact reason. Because I know someday someone's going to read one of my books and be like, Skye said not to do this, and guess what's right here in her book? Where everyone has a bad face in their articles, right? Like all the thumbnails for those videos were the same too. They're the same like 5 expressions, the same 3 expressions, or the kind of thing. It was just hilarious. I don't like to do advice videos because I'm not an expert in anything. Best I can do is here's what's worked for me, and this may not work for you. Ooh, I do love the mistakes I learned videos. Those have been popping up more often in my feed, and those I enjoy. Because those have a different feel than the don't do what I do kind of thing. Do as I say, not as I do. Yes. Um, I feel like the tone is different, and I think that's part of it. With a lot of the earlier advice videos, again, I'm not seeing much of them these days, mostly because I don't watch them. And my feed apparently is very curated to the things I watch versus what I don't watch, which I'm discovering more and more. Um, After a conversation from last night's stream about tags. But yeah. Oh my god, it feels like there's something in my eye. Sorry. I think it was a lot of the tone with the do not do these things kind of things versus the mistakes I made, do as I do, not do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. There's a shift in the tone used, and maybe it's the wording because they technically are the same when you think about it, but they're done in such a different way, if that makes sense. I don't really know how else to describe it other than just they feel different. They're essentially the same thing. It's still advice technically, but it's worded differently, and the wording used is different enough that it's not the same. Okay, I'm glad you understood what I'm saying because I feel like I'm talking in circles now. All right, let's do this last sprint. I think I've talked about everything conspiracy theory wise. My thoughts on the pen name thing versus the. And again, this was only something I was seeing a lot with author tubers, not with like I've met a few other people out who do have nothing to do with AuthorTube who also have pen names, and I don't get the same feeling as I do with AuthorTube. This is mainly a thing I've seen with AuthorTubers, and I don't know why. And I really think it is because of the advice videos. I really do. Because there's several other people who I know have pen names, and some of them I know the pen names of, some of them I don't. And the ones where I do know the pen names of, I can see when I know that that is their pen name, I'm like, oh yeah, I can tell now because their style is the same across all their works, no matter what pen name they're under. There's just they did pen names for different genres, kind of like I do. Because all of my fantasy sci-fi stuff is under one pen name, and then I've got contemporary romance under another, and I have erotica. What little I do, I haven't published erotica in years. In fact, I don't think I have any erotica out right now, but it's all under a third pen name. And then I have a pen name which is a co-partnership with another person. So technically, I have 4 pen names, but they're all different genres, except for the co-partner one is the same. It's contemporary romance, but it's because it's with a partner and we split things 50-50, we decided to keep that separate. So that's why I've got 4 instead of 3. But because I'm focusing on SD Hegyes stuff and fantasy, urban fantasy, paranormal romance, all of that's under the subgenre. All of those are subgenres of fantasy. That's where most of my stuff is. And I know a couple other authors who do publish under multiple genres under one pen name. And every time I've talked to them about different things, that was their biggest regret. They wish they had separated under different pen names. And I'm not going to lie, a few years ago, there was someone talking to me about how they had like 6 different pen names for different genres. And I was like, why? And now I get it. I get it now. Like I straight up get it now. But I was definitely a snob back then. And I had to go back and apologize. I was like, I get it now. I'm so sorry. I was such an asshole. Because I was a straight up dick about it. I was like, why the fuck? Their advice. Giving advice based off the mistakes they've already made. It's still advice, but different. Yes. Pen names do not mix the books and confuse it. Yes. It's a numbers thing too, because again, it goes back to like, no lie, everyone knows romance is a huge genre compared to especially like horror. Okay. There is definitely a bigger readership of romance than there is horror. Not to say there's not a big readership with horror. StokerCon is a huge con that happens every year for I don't know how many years. And I was actually looking at my Facebook feed, and it was amazing to see how many authors I know who went to StokerCon. I was like, oh shit. I didn't even know I knew this many horror authors because horror is not a genre I typically read, and I definitely don't write it. There might be some horror elements in my stuff, but I don't write horror. So it's really interesting to see like how well stuff does. And we can talk about my combo on board after. Um, we're gonna start the sprint soon. But I think that also has an effect. Like you don't want your horror readers. Wow, it's really hard for me to say that word. Horror readers mixing with your romance readers. So I definitely get the pen name thing now. Heck, that's why because originally I was going to publish everything under one name too, and I now know why people don't. All right, we're going to do this last sprint so we can talk about my combo on board, and I can jump off here. So here we go. Let me get the final prompt up for anyone who wants to use it. You don't have to. I promise. I'm not. It's not going to hurt my feelings. So here we go. We're going to start in. Let me find my cat timer. I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. That is time, everyone. That was like perfect timing because the song I was listening to just ended right before the timer went off. So that was like chef's kiss perfect. All right, I got more stuff with Notion. I had to put my hair up because it was annoying me. So it was great. This all started with me trying to work on Witches of Glenwood and getting my desk cleaned, and I got my desk cleaned off. I still have to reorganize it before I go to bed tonight so that I can, get my new phone holder thingy hooked up so I can start doing more videos and just move the camera around easier than trying to move the tripod. But anyways, yeah, I'm actually quite proud of everything I got done today. I hope you guys are too. I really do. Scary T-Rex. Yep. Okay. Gotta take that banner down now. Oh, I can close the cat timer because we're not using it anymore. Okay, there we go. All right. JC, you wanted to know about the Kanban board behind me? Go ahead and drop your questions because I don't know exactly what you want to know. But I'm willing to talk about it. I just don't know what you want to know. Ignore this mess. It's not here. Oh, goodness. What's all the things? Okay. Whee! The colors have no meaning, by the way, because I started running out of Post-it notes. That's literally all it was. So to some extent, yes, the colors are different projects, but mostly it's just I ran out of colors of Post-it notes and just went with the next color that was semi-close. As far as like projects go, like it's three goals, like the HB90 system. This was all financial related, and this is not actually for the quarter. This is for the whole year because some of this was classwork stuff, some of this was like savings stuff. And I had goals where I do a certain, as far as the saving goes, I had wanted to save up certain amount each month per or quarter. So that's set up for the whole year. And the same thing, the classes, I wanted to complete either one class each quarter or 25% of 4 classes each quarter. So I have the whole year on here for those two things. So that is all one color. This was all like family related stuff and like personal life stuff that I needed to get done, such as the fact that I'm trying to get my birth certificate so I can get my license, my Montana license. That's been a whole snafu. I finally figured out how to get my birth certificate. For those who have not been following the saga, because this has been ongoing for like 3 years now, I got my driver's license in North Carolina, had my birth certificate. Mom swears that she gave me my birth certificate to keep. I was like 15, 16 at the time. I swear she took it back because, and I believe this because she did the same thing with my sisters. My sisters had to get theirs. And I apologize for the dogs. They're outside barking at God knows what. Probably coyotes. But it doesn't really matter what happened to it. It's gone. And I was born overseas when my parents were stationed in Germany. And unfortunately, the base they were at was closed and they hadn't digitized all of their records yet. So it's been a hassle trying to get a new copy of my birth certificate. And because of that, I haven't been able to get my license changed. In fact, actually, I don't have a license right now because it expired this year. Yay! So that's all of that. Dealing with that, as well as like date nights, family nights, girls' nights with my kids. Reading related stuff is on orange sticky notes and yellow sticky notes because I ran out of orange. Over here is all writing related stuff. And this is all AWC and writing retreat stuff, the 7-day book challenge, which starts tomorrow. This was my newsletter exclusive story. And again, it's on bigger post-it notes because I ran out of post-it notes. So, and then this was all of this is related to the Shifters and Mages because technically I'm working on 3 books in that series at one time. The first book comes out in December, so I've got all my finalization stuff for that. I've got my professional editing and further editing on my side with the second story, and then I've got my rewrites for the third story. That was the one where that was the one I was trying to focus on, was that series as a whole. And every time I try to focus on it by itself, I just go, Yeah, no, I don't feel like working on it because, yeah. But as far as like the colors mean, they absolutely have nothing to do with each other. I just picked a color and went with it until I ran out of sticky notes. This is just a quote from the Breaking the Block live stream we had. Eva said something and it resonated with everyone. And I was like, let me just write that down real quick and plop it on here. These pink ones down here in the complete was when I did Vita in April. Vlog every day in April. And so I've got those down there. I'm trying to think if there's anything extra. Nope, that's everything. As you can see, I haven't completed a lot of stuff. Some of this stuff can actually probably move because we have done family nights, we have done date nights. So like that stuff can move. I just haven't done it yet. I'm very much an out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And if I don't look at that daily and move stuff down daily, it doesn't get moved. But none of this stuff gets moved because I haven't been working on it. The quote is, give yourself permission to succeed too, but in a way you didn't picture. So, yeah. I am making progress. Don't get me wrong. It's just not the kind of projects that I had planned on with the Kanban board. And that's why I'm going to change it up. The video I just filmed and need to edit is talking about the fact. Hold on. The video I filmed and still need to edit is actually talking about the fact that I'm going to be changing up how I do this, because instead of planning like specific projects, I'm going to plan like how much time I'm spending. Welcome back, Misty Kate. We were talking about the Kanban board behind me. Instead of like focusing on specific projects, because of the fact that I'm using the spinning wheel of chaotic doom and I'm hopping from project to project and doing bits and pieces here and there, I'm going to plan my quarter by how much time I'm spending on various things, versus like I'll still have my date night, my family night, my girls' night sticky notes on here. I'll still have I'm not even going to put my reading ones up here because honestly, my goal was 25 books. I beat that within less than a month because of all the audiobooks I listen to at work. I very much appreciate that I have Everand as a subscription because I use the hell out of it. For $10 a month, it's well worth it. I read that much because I'm going through like a book a day. Just saying. But yeah, so there's no point in my putting my reading goals on there anymore. I'm reading every day. Mostly because my Kindle is like, don't miss a day. And I'm like, well, fudge. I missed a day and I broke my chain and it makes me sad. But even so, I'm reading at work, even if I'm not reading ebooks. So yeah, I'm changing up the Kanban board, but it is very extensive and not a lot's getting done on. If you look at my Kanban board, I have done nothing this quarter, but I have done so much. It's just not been any of that stuff. So we're going to ignore this. It doesn't exist. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I think I've read, how many books have I read this year? Let me go look at my notes. Where is my reading log? I ate it. It ran away. Yes, both can be true at the same time. According to my reading log, I have read, oh, that's not accurate. Let me remove the filter because I was filtering out. I've read 86 books this year already. I slowed down a lot in June because I've been listening to more music so I could do dictation and stuff. I should do that. I should write the things I have done. I do keep so I do keep on my Notion a writing journal where I keep track of like everything I've done on various projects. So like I do have a record of everything I've done, and when I look at that writing journal, it's full. I have done so much work. It's not even funny. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Because I don't think I have very many empty days unless it was something where like I was working on the same thing for multiple days and I haven't figured out yet how to make it so that it crosses over multiple days. So I just have it set on the last day that I worked on something. Where is it at? Helps if I click on the right page. But yeah, this week, one, I'm only missing stuff on 3 days, and in my notes for that third day, it says that I was working on that across all 3 days. So, like, when I look at the little reading journal, shiitake mushrooms, hold on. I scratched a cat scratch and it's bleeding a little bit. By a little bit, I mean a lot. But I had a train of thought and it just derailed itself. Fudge. Basically, the point is I am getting stuff done. It's just not the stuff I'd planned on getting done, which is okay. Sometimes that happens. Are we done? Nope, we're not done. Okay. Not shiitake mushrooms. I don't even like mushrooms. That's why that's so fun to say. It's just a fun phrase to say. My kids laugh at me because I say fudge nuggets and shiitake mushrooms. When I'm trying not to cuss. And usually I don't care. But when I'm like on other people's channels, I do care. I just don't care on mine. Okay, cool. I think we're done. At least for now. Okay. But let's see. Is there anything else you want to know about that? Oh, we finished the chicken coop. Nope, I'm still bleeding. Cards have all been sent. I don't know. I think that's everything. And this is just Fred or George or Bob or whatever. I keep forgetting his name and giving him a new name every couple of weeks. So whatever his name is now, that's him. And he just hangs around all year round. And you don't see him because my head's usually in the way. How detailed are the sticky notes? Okay, let me pull down. So, like, this is my newsletter exclusive chapter. JSG stands for Jesse St. George, chapter 9. Some of them are like that. Date night for June, first date, because we try to go on 2 dates a month. And actually, we've already done this one, so I'm going to move it down. And I'm moving date number 2 down to doing because it's going to happen next weekend. Let's see. And then I stacked them on top of each other too. So like this was, if I can get it to focus. How do people do this? I don't know. It says fiction number 25, and this was numbered 1 through 25, and I just keep them stacked on top of each other to save room. So like for the Shifters and Mages stories, I've got them. This one says PC final check. This is a Puck's Choice because it's the first book in the series. I knew what you meant, Stephanie. It's okay. I knew what you meant. Though to be fair, like my brain automatically thinks in like movie quotes, and the first thing that came to my mind when I read that was the scene from The Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers, where he steps on the rake or the garden hoe, and it smacks him in the face, and then he says, "You dirty hoe." I'm just kidding, baby. I love you. Like that's the first thing that popped in my head when I read your question. So like my sticky notes are not detailed at all, mostly because I write so much on so many of them that my hand starts to cramp up. The Hunter's Betrayal ones are all word counts, so they're 1,000 words per sticky note, and it was about 75,000 words. So that tells you there's 75 sticky notes on there, and I have them in groups of 10 because they just after that they won't stick to each other anymore. And like one says birth certificate, one says license. So It's very simple. I keep it very simple. I've got more detailed stuff in my notes on the computer on like descriptions exactly of what I'm doing or like what each thing pertains to versus that up there. And someday I may digitize my Kanban board. Today is not that day. I have tried it, and because I am very much an out of sight, out of mind person, I didn't ever look at it. I built it up, I got it all set, and at the end of the quarter, I hadn't moved anything. And I was just like, well, that was pointless. This is better. Because at least this I have to look at once a day. I have out of sight, out of mind syndrome combined with I think it's called noise blindness, where if you see the same thing over and over and nothing changes about it, you stop noticing it. White blindness? What is it called? I think it's white blindness. What? Noise blindness. No. Oh my goodness, that's gonna bother me. Now I have to Google it. And of course my keyboard went to sleep. No, not frequency illusion. I don't remember what it's called. Google is not helping me. It's bothering me. I have to find out. This says frequency illusion, but that's not the right word. That's when you notice things more often. I want to know the opposite effect. Okay, let me just Google the opposite of frequency illusion. I don't know. Apparently there's no opposite. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Anyways, Stephanie has tried Trello for the Kanban board. Barely looked at it, so I use only a spare piece of wall in the RV. Yeah, it's kind of like face blindness. You're so used to seeing something you don't notice anything when anything's different. And face blindness might be what I'm thinking of. That might be the term I'm thinking of. I knew it was something blindness, so maybe that's it. But yeah, I always tend to build the Kanban board every quarter, but I don't always tend to use it because a lot of times what I do is yes, phone, what do you need? What is going on? Oh, it's Amy's birthday tomorrow. My phone was letting me know because it's 30 minutes to midnight and I have 30-minute notifications on. Okay, interesting. I'm still getting used to that. That's something with the Skylight calendar that we have now. And I love the Skylight calendar, but I'm still getting used to whenever I get a notification. But yeah, face blindness might be what I'm thinking of. I don't know. And as far as the Kanban board goes, I love using it. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't use it the way I could be using it. I think that's the way I want to word it. All right, everyone, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. It is 11:30 my time, and my husband has to be work at what time does he work tomorrow? Does he work at 5:30 or 4:30? 5:30. So he has to go to bed, which means I have to make him go to bed. So anyways, I have to bring the dog in that's barking. I don't know what she's barking at. I got to figure out a way to get her to come in and stop barking at everything. So yeah, thank you all for joining me today. I will see you all bright and early tomorrow morning because I'm doing a live stream at 8 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 10 a.m. Eastern. Yes, 10 a.m. Eastern to start off the 7-day book challenge. I'm going to be working I don't know what I'm going to be working on. I originally picked the Sultry Solstices, but now I'm thinking Monstrous Mates, and I don't know what I'm going to be working on. One of the two. Might flip flop between the two. So yeah, I think that's all I have. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. I don't know what else to say. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye, everyone.